Hey everyone, it's Kathy and you're back here on my YouTube channel, Kathy's Random Acts of Stamping. Today we're doing another installment and I didn't know I needed to know that. And what we're going to cover today is many times when we do die cuts, they can be a little off. No matter how much you try to center them, you'll have maybe more over here and a little less over here because sometimes these little dies will shift on you. I'm going to show you a technique that you can use by using a tool called your Stamparatus, where you can get these perfectly spaced and done each time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into my die cut machine, and we're going to cut this out and to the best of our ability. And you know, it may come out good and it may not. I'm going to try my best to get that lined up as good as I can. Something like that. Well, let's turn it a little bit because I want to, yeah, let's do it about like that. Alright, we'll go ahead and crank that through. And sometimes even your best attempts will come out a little one-sided, I guess would be the right word. So let's see what we got with this one. Perfect example. Have you ever cut pieces and they ended up looking like that? And then you would find that you needed to take your scissors and fussy cut around the heavier edges to make it look, you know, better for your project. Well, this is what this little tip and trick is going to help us do. It is going to help us to be able to get those perfectly stamped every time. So I'm going to bring over my Stamparatus. You're going to need the help of the grid paper that we sell that goes with the Stamparatus. And I didn't mention at the beginning of this, but I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located here in the beautiful state of North Carolina, and I can service you or take care of your stamping needs no matter where you live across the United States. So if you're not currently working with a demonstrator, I would absolutely love the opportunity to earn your business and hopefully be your friend and your mentor. Okay, so I went ahead and put down my piece of grid paper here, and I'm using a couple of different stamps. This is the one from the Cottage Rose, and you know, if you go through all the trouble of stamping this and say you do what I did and you color it and it's beautiful, but then you die cut it and it's off, that can be very aggravating. So what we're going to do today, we are going to take a template. This is where I had already cut out one of these beautiful roses, and what I want to do is I want to lay that stamp set just like this is, maybe move it over, maybe move it down. I want to get it in a spot where I know that it's going to be in that same spot, because this is going to be the magic that's going to happen. So once you get that lined up and making sure that your rose is, or your stamp is fitting into the groove of that die cut, then we're going to put our magnet on like that. Go ahead and pick this up. Now we can move our piece something like that, and I'm going to use my Momento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm going to go ahead and ink up this beautiful Cottage Rose. I'm hoping that this tip will be something that will help you, especially if you're doing multiples. If you're making a set of cards and you want to use this as a focal point on, say, 10 or 12 cards, this is a wonderful trick. So stamp this down directly onto your grid paper, and I'm going to use this just to help me get a nice even distribution of that ink. And now we're going to lift that up, and we have that image. So now we can very easily bring this over and line that up where we can get it perfectly arranged. In the meantime, you're going to be already cut out of just plain white cardstock your die cut, which is this piece right here. I'm gonna pull that piece out. And this is the Cottage Flowers die set. And what I did is I went ahead and ran through several of these flowers, just cut them out of plain white cardstock, or basic white. Oops. So I'm going to lay that up there so I don't get it hung up with my magnet. And I am going to very strategically, I'll tell you what, let's put a magnet right there. And let's grab that other magnet. And we'll use it to hold down our actual piece of cardstock. Our template is what we'll call this. This is going to be a template. So you're going to want to keep this, stick it into die cut or your stamp set, so that you can remember when you get ready to stamp these out again. And if you've had trouble cutting before, you may have trouble cutting again. So I've got a nice even edge all the way around that. So now I'm going to put this magnet down right there. And now all I got to do is pop these pieces into that place, the little placeholder, just like that. So now I can go ahead and ink up. Let me zoom y'all out just a bit. And move this over. I want you to be able to see the full effect of what I'm doing. So now we're going to go ahead and ink this. And after we get a good inking on it, then we are going to just stamp this down just like this. And I'm going to use my little pressure tool again. And lift it up, and then you can lift this out. And look at how perfect that is. And this will work no matter what stamp you use. Let's pull this one off. And let's bring in our little leaf that we did. And what I'm going to do is pull my magnets off, and I'm going to put one over there. I have learned the hard way to keep those magnets completely away from each other. So I'm going to turn that over so I can stamp the leaf. And I'm going to put that leaf, let's put it right about and try to get a feel for where I want that stamp to go. So I'm going to get my grid paper down first, and then we're going to bring this out to the edge. Maybe we'll do it like this. That'll work. And we can put the other magnet down here on this end, and then we can kind of fit this in. This will position us where we need to be. And I haven't cut out any of the leaves, so I'm going to go ahead and ink up this one. And we're going to stamp it. And let's move this. Stamp that down. It doesn't have to be perfect on this. It's just as long as you can see the outline of your piece. Oop. These magnets always scare me when they clank. Then all we have to do is put this over it and get it perfectly lined like we want it. And then we can use our other magnet down here. And all we have to do now is cut some of our empty pieces. So let me do that, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, and as you can see, I cut out 3 of our leaves, and now we can go ahead and lay these in to our Stamparatus, right on that little grid mark, or where we have that piece cut out. Just press it in, and I bring this back over, just like that. And like I said, keep your template, because if you keep your template, you'll always have it, and then you don't have to do this process over again. You just cut your pieces, and it goes so fast when you're cutting these pieces because you don't have to line anything up. You just put your cardstock down onto your mat and run it through your die cut machine. There's no lining up or anything to do. So all of our lining up is being done right here on our Stamparatus. And this is just a time saver all the way around. And like I said, especially if you're doing multiples. Now let me show you the difference. Look at this one and look at this one. You can definitely see, and I'm sure if y'all have done any die cutting at all, you've had this to happen, because I know I have. So this is a great way to ensure that your piece is evenly cut, and you don't have to pull out those scissors and fussy cut something that you've already die cutted. Because I look at it like this: if you're going to fussy cut, then don't even bother with the die machine to start with. But the reason we love our dies is because we get these nice even edges all the way around. This is a way that will ensure that you can get them even every time. And it's just such a time saver and a wonderful way to use your dies. And it will work with any stamp and die set that you have, no matter what it is. So try it with some of yours, and leave me a comment and let me know if you try it. What did you think about it? And again, let me zoom you in. I am going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to bring over my pieces. Here's some pieces that I have cut, and of course, you know, this one I have colored, but this one I haven't. So there you go. There's one that was done that kind of messed up, and this is one that was done pretty perfectly. So I hope this has been a good tip and trick for you. And again, it's one of those things, maybe you didn't know you needed to know this. So what a wonderful little tip and tidbit to have in your arsenal. So thank you so much for tuning in once again. May God bless and keep you. And remember what I always say: let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is so worthy. Until we craft again, take care. Bye-bye.